Have you ever cheated on me? Who gets the dog if you break up? Who's the top and who's the bottom? Hey guys!
It's Matthew and Ryan.
Oh my god, why do you get it wrong every time? Hey guys!
It's Matthew.
Oh my god. Hey guys!
It's Ryan here.
And Matthew here.
It sounds
Perfect.
awful.
No, it doesn't, even though it's Matthew and Ryan.
We say Matthew and Ryan even. Anyway, today we are back with a Q&A, which is we haven't done a Q&A for a hot minute, and I'm loving this background. I'm loving
really
the setup.
cute.
It's a really cute setup.
So this is our bedroom, but I'm sure if you guys have been watching our daily vlogs for the past 2 weeks, Roscoe's just here, just making sure we don't argue during the Q&A, because there are some juicy questions you guys sent in over on Instagram, so thank you so much. And if you do want to get involved in future Q&As, make sure you follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, so we got some questions from, I've got some hair on my nose, it's really itchy. So we took some questions from Instagram, but we also took some questions from the YouTube comments as well.
Yes.
So we picked the juicy ones, and you guys did not fail us when it came to juicy ones. So we're gonna answer some of those. We're gonna hopefully this will be some questions that you want to know more about us, maybe.
Yes.
And just like our relationship and like just juicy
just things that you just want to know. So let's head straight into it. So first question we get asked consistently, every video that we ask for questions is, are you going to have kids?
And the answer is a fat yes.
Yes.
100% yes. I feel like when we first met, I've always like wanted kids. Always wanted kids. I feel like you were like a bit on the fence.
I've always wanted kids, but I want to like live my life before I've got this child breathing down on us, ruining our lives. I want to make sure we do everything we want to do first, and we're going to have a little girl called Blossom, and then we're going to have a little boy called Harvey.
We're yet to decide.
We're yet to decide on names.
No, we've got it. But I think we do want kids. I think the thing is that we want to make sure we really wanted to go travelling. This year, like during Corona, we were supposed to go travelling for a little bit. So I think we would have got
just
that out of our
system. A bit of buzz out of the way.
And just a bit more like travel experience. Because we haven't done that, that is still our priority to do that.
As soon as those borders open, we are out of here.
Literally,
I'm not even joking. Next question's an interesting one. Do you guys really love each other, or is it all fake for social media?
I can't, like, it upsets me a little bit, that question.
It doesn't upset me, because I know there's people out there that we know are faking their relationship for social media, and we would never spill anything, but
I mean, if we stay into our DMs, we'll spill it. I'm joking.
But there are definitely people out there that are doing it, and it's a smart move to have, because I feel like when you're a couple, sometimes, yeah, I really do think it's a smart thing to do, because
that's why we're not doing it, because we're not smart like that. No.
We ain't clever. We ain't clever.
Actually, we had our relationship before social media, so like before TikTok was even around in the UK, we were like together. So we've been together for nearly 5 years. So I think if we were gonna fake our relationship, like pat on the back,
come out by now. Yeah, 5 years worth.
Half a decade, century.
Yeah, half a decade. We would have lost half a decade on just lies.
We just wouldn't have done that. So we started, and like actually, I had a YouTube account. When we first dated, Matthew was like not even like into social media, but I think you
I was into it, but I didn't have a YouTube channel. I just had an Instagram.
And then it kind of just evolved that we wanted to put our stuff online. Starting off with like just documenting like our weekends ways and what we're doing, and then it just evolved into like our Instagram. We wanted to take photos, and I think when we got Roscoe, I think it was like to make sure we wanted to document like photos with him and just all these things that we wanted to do. And I think then it evolved into kind of like what it is now.
My biggest thing that I'm most happy about is the fact that we documented getting Roscoe and his whole life. So if life is worth living, it's worth recording. I'm always going to live by that.
I generally think that. I think like it's just so like when we like even now we go back to our during the lockdown when we were isolating because I've got Corona, we were looking at our Japan videos, our Japan vlogs, our Japan photos.
We've got it all forever.
And, like, the fact that we took those photos, we could then print them on like Polaroid photos. If we didn't document it, we wouldn't have had that.
Yeah. Next question is a juicy one. Who gets the dog if you break up?
Dun dun dun! Well, I generally think if we did break up, I would probably just leave the country and travel.
Come with me, sweetheart. I've got your bags packed. Let's get out with this absolute show.
Oh, but I generally don't think, I basically was gonna say what's happening because I've not allowed him in this room because he keeps farting. I've never really thought, to be honest, like seriously.
No.
Like, I think we've joked, like we joke all the time
We joke about him being mine and he jokes about him being his.
But like the jokes, but like I think if we ever sat down and seriously discussed it, but we never have. We've never. I think like when we got Roscoe, there was no doubt in my mind that he was more than ones than the other. It was never like that. And God forbid, but I feel like if anything did happen, we would work it out and co-parent the dog. Yeah, I do think, I'm like, yeah.
Wouldn't we? We would co-parent him, wouldn't we?
I think we would. We would, like, figure out, like, what we would do. I think, like, we both love Roscoe so much. And I think, like, Roscoe does love us. So I think we both love us. So I think we would co-parent. But I also just don't think I would have ever got a dog in the first place.
No, like, it's a big responsibility and we definitely considered it.
And I mean, like, you're halfway through your lifespan. So I'm like, I'm sure we could just put up with another 5 years to go for before dog.
Right, this one is for people, a lot of people ask this on every single Q&A, but I feel this one's for the people that have only recently started following us, so some of you might have heard this before.
I'm so sorry. You need to sit down. Bosco, sit down.
When did you start dating and move in together? Now, I'm going to answer this one. We started dating in 2016, and we moved in together about 6 months after meeting up, meeting and dating, and the rest is history.
Well, yeah, so basically when we did our first date, I was in uni and Matthew was still living at home, and we did a few dates, and obviously bear in mind we were like talking, and then we like stopped talking and Matthew pied me off, and then we had our first date, and basically from our first date I feel like we were like, you would stop at my uni place like all the time,
and you had to move out of that uni house, and it was just like, should we just YOLO, like, you'll be tied into renting for a year. If things don't work out, you just move out, like.
That is the thing, yeah. I think, like, again, like, because you kind of lived me in uni, it made sense, because, like, it wasn't like, oh, we've not lived together before, like, it was like, you were stopping, like, days on end at mine, like, and it just made sense to just
move in together. So, yeah, 2016, and we're now in almost 2021. We've been together 5 years. 5 years. It's our 5-year anniversary in like 2 weeks.
And now we got our own house, like our actual own house.
Insane. What's your biggest relationship regret?
I'll let you go first.
My biggest relationship regret is when we were in Santorini, and do you remember we went for the wine tasting, and you were like, we haven't got a table, and you got really upset, and I was like, oh, I should have just booked somewhere, even though I know back then I couldn't have booked anywhere because we just happened to go there. But that's my only regret, because it was really sad. You were really upset.
I was really upset. I was like,
there was no tables. It was like a perfect. So we did go back on the last night to be which didn't.
I was really devastated actually that we didn't.
He was just like a little brat, like walking around like, you should have made the table.
I was a brat, and that's another thing that
I'm embarrassed for you looking back at the memory, but I wish I'd booked somewhere, because it was sad to see you so upset.
I was so upset. But my biggest regret is probably that I am a brat like that. I think like that's my biggest regret. I think sometimes Jesus Christ, what's going on? My biggest regret is getting a dog that just farts.
That's why you wanted him. You like, I really want to.
It's a conversation starter. No, my biggest regret is like when we do something special and things don't go like to plan. Even when Matthew tries, and bless him, Matthew does try, and a lot of the times Matthew tries, it's never right. So my biggest regret is that like I'm a bit of a brat, and I say some stuff that I really do regret, like especially on a holiday. Like I remember Santorini, that was an awful time that I acted in that winery.
Yeah, it was. It nearly did ruin the holiday, but of course I do save the day every time. And this one's more for Ryan. Is it hard starting a makeup business?
But we're going to flip that. I'm going to say, is it hard to start our business? Because I have my makeup business, we have our business, and also Matthew has his pottery business. So if we dissect it into my makeup business, it is hard and it isn't hard. It is hard because there's so much to learn, and there isn't a lot of advice online. So especially like the rules and regulations, and like importing from other countries. So it's going to get a little bit more difficult now that we're leaving the EU. So I still need to figure that out actually in manufacturing. So that is pretty difficult, but also just like I think believing in yourself, that is really difficult because you spend a lot of money to get all these products and work on these products, and like I have had some issues in the past where I got scammed in my first manufacturer, so I lost a lot of money, and that really did scare me to kind of then go back into it and get a new product and like a new manufacturer. But that's a really expensive lesson learned, but that could throw you off and just close your business down.
100%. like a lot of people would have just been like, stuff it, I'm not doing this.
And that was when, and this was like a year ago, so this is when we like, I didn't have savings, I didn't have money that I could maybe take out of that and put into that. So everything, I put everything into that. When that happened, I was like, it was an awful time.
So basically, this manufacturer in China that you used to get our cosmetics palettes from, their emails had been hacked, but I do genuinely think their emails have been hacked, and you were emailing like someone that was coming from their account that they couldn't see, and they just took all your money basically.
Yeah,
you didn't get
and
anything for
basically it came from them emails, but because they're in China, like they were just like, oh, it's a whole different regulation. They were like, oh, and if that happened in the UK, that company would be like, that's our issue. We've got hacked, we'll fulfill our stuff. But they were just like, no.
It was so hard.
So it's very annoying and very difficult. In terms of is it hard to start a business when our business?
I'm gonna say yes, because like
you don't stop.
Not that you don't stop, but you're not taught anything in school, like business stuff. And I didn't take business at college or university or anything like that. So having to learn everything from scratch, I've been learning fast. And
it's from example, invoicing, that's something you learn, but also just like finance, like paying your
taxes properly, like making sure you're doing everything properly so you don't get stung in the long run. It's crazy.
No one tells you, and like social media is such a new thing, like it's such a grey area. Not everyone, there's not a lot of information on. So if you're gonna start social media, that's something to like, you cannot avoid it. You have to look into it.
Because like, it will catch up with you. You can't lie about what you're earning.
But like, because you're your own boss, I feel like that's also difficult, because you just want to like work. And like with social media especially, like if you say no to something, or like, oh, can we do it in a week's time, that whole thing's gone.
Yeah, you need to. You have to stay on it all the time, otherwise these things go. Like,
and what about your pottery business?
Pottery business, I think, is hard because personally, time, and I think it's very different from your business because
I import everything.
You can design your thing. You can spend a day or a couple of days designing, having a good time, and enjoy it. Not that I don't enjoy pottery,
and then let someone else do it.
But with pottery, I'm making these pots, and it's taken me like 2 years to even get where I am now, bearing in mind it's been very, very part-time doing it 2 years because of all the other stuff.
Yeah.
But like, you can make all these you can make a whole batch of gorgeous pots, and then they could all explode in the kiln.
I think one thing I've learned with pottery is it's like you have to wait. So if we talk about the process, like Matthew will make a pot, and then you have to wait for that to dry, which could take like a week.
Ages.
And then you have to then kill it, like put it in the oven, which takes like 24 hours. And then you have to glaze it and let it dry for another 24 hours, and then put it back into the kiln for 24 hours. And then there are things that you cannot skip.
Which I think is why when I do start selling them, I feel like people are going to think that I'm going to have them as cheap as what, like, as to sell a mug for, like.
But they're like manufactured.
They're like, and I feel like I'm going to have to justify it. I don't know why I'm being weird in my head, but like, it's just because I'm going to be, like, a mug or something, for example, will probably be around like £20, and people might be like, £20 for a mug,
but they're so unique.
But I have spent so long on that one piece, so it's just like one of those. It's just something I'm going to.
They're like one-offs, aren't they? So I think that's something like that people do understand. I think if you look at any kind of pottery or cement kind of company,
anything like that,
that is the price you pay, because it is one-off piece.
Handmade,
people like that. You're not gonna get like the same set ever again.
But I'm so excited. Next question: have you ever cheated on each other? Have you ever cheated on me?
No, not that I know of.
Have you ever cheated on me?
When have I had the time to cheat on you?
You cheated on me!
No, I have never cheated on Matthew. Answer it then! Have you?
No, of course I've never cheated on you,
I feel like we are like such a unique relationship in a sense that like we have a business together, like we're in everything together. So I think like when one's feeling stressed, a person can really understand why that person's feeling stressed. And like I think that's such a unique, but then on the flip side, where it's an amazing experience. So when like we go through stuff, like when we went to Thailand, which highlight, like we got to do that together.
Yeah.
Or whenever we go to events, or we get like a really exciting email come through, we get to
just
celebrate
anything
that
like it's together. I know some people will be like, crikey, I could never do that. But then we all, if we're ever like, God, this is too much, and we're having bad days, because we're still people, we have bad days.
I have a lot of bad days.
We do remember that we are in a very different situation to a lot of people in terms of the fact that we're doing it as a couple. So it's fine.
You do understand.
You remember, and then you're like, okay, it's not as bad. Like, we are doing more. We're not, because I feel like some people are like, God, that must be really crap doing that together. But we know that if we ever do get stressed, that we are doing a lot together, and sometimes we just need to take a step back. Next one. Who's the top and who's the bottom?
Well,
if you think about it, when we go on holiday, I'll always want the top bunk, but sometimes I go in the bottom bunk, so it just depends what bunk beds we want.
Exactly.
And last question, who is our TikTok crush? Easy TikTok crush then, babe.
I actually don't have one. I think a lot of people on TikTok cringe me out.
Why?
I've just said it. I just think, like, a lot of people, I just think TikTok, you have a really hyped personality, and I think that's, like, it's really hard to know that's
them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Like, obviously that's them, they're not, like, no one's faking who they are, but I feel like that's a very small percentage of who that is. I don't know. I've never been like that. I've never been like the celebrities. I haven't though, have I? I don't care for celebrities. Like, everyone's like, I love Beyonce, or I love Lady Gaga, or I love Kris Jenner. Like,
I'm different. I love all celebrities.
I can admire them. I admire them and think they're incredible, talented artists and people, and like inspirations. But I wouldn't, like, I don't really care if I didn't meet them, if that makes sense. I'm not obsessed with their lives. Well, this one on the other hand is so opposite.
I love all celebrities.
So who's your TikTok crush?
Right, there's this one guy on TikTok that I do watch, and his name's Ryan Mark Payne. Whee! Mwah! So guys, thank you so much for sending in your questions. It means everything that you guys took the time to even write some questions out to us. So thank you so much. If you did like this video, smash the thumbs up button.
And make sure you turn your notification bell on. And if you do have any video suggestions, we are vlogging every day or uploading every day at 6 PM on YouTube. Make sure you leave a comment down below. We are uploading on TikTok every day, Instagram. So do make sure you follow all of our platforms as well.
And Twitch. We also Twitch 3 nights a week.
Yes.
And our daily vlogs, we're over halfway through, so we're actually not doing daily vlogs for much longer, to be honest.
So I'm like a clause in, because I'm like, we did it. Like, this was such a challenge.
Yeah, it was such a challenge. We've never daily vlogged before, and it's been an experience.
Daily vlog, but not like every day.
Not like every day for this long.
Daily
but
vlogged, yeah.
It has been fun. I've loved it. But guys, if you did like this video, make sure you give it a big fat thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow at 6 PM.
Love you guys. Mwah.